Lights of Old Santa Fe is a pretty decent film. This is a musical western from 1944. It's directed by Frank McDonald, written by Gordon Kahn and Bob Williams, with a cast including Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, Gabby Hayes, Tom Keene, Roy Barcroft, Arthur Loft, Claire de Brey, and various others. And I love musicals. I love westerns. I had high hopes for this, but I'd never heard of it. I discovered it randomly on Letterboxd, so I went in not really knowing what to expect, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will answer the question now of, do you need to be a musicals fan to enjoy it, and also do you need to be a western fan to enjoy it? Obviously, ideally, you'll enjoy both of them, and if you do, I think you'll find it to be a delight. I don't think you need to love westerns to enjoy it. I think as long as you're a musicals fan, I think it will still be a solid experience. It's not as maybe gritty or rugged as some westerns, so it's a little bit shinier and fluffier, I guess. But at the same time, if you don't love musicals but you do like westerns, it may be a more atypical western experience in the sense that it isn't as gritty and rugged. So definitely, if you're a musical fan, give it a go. If you're only a western fan, try it, but I do think you need to enjoy musicals to really enjoy the experience. Of course, there are many different westerns with many different tones, and they all feel quite different, but stereotypically, that's kind of how I feel about it. So, in general, I thought it was a delight because it really, really appealed to me. 2 rodeo shows, the problems they face, some rivalry. There's a little bit more to it than that, but I won't spoil too much. But it's focusing on these shows and the characters involved in the rodeo shows. And I think it's a very well written narrative. I think, in general, there's enough substance there. For example, if they removed the musical element and it was just a straight up story, I think there would be enough substance there for it to still be a well-rounded narrative, but the musical element definitely enhanced the narrative and made it a little bit more engaging. I do think the musical aspect is very well done. There are some really nice vocal performances. I think I'd listen to the soundtrack on its own, but I don't have a favourite song. There's not any one song that stood out to me as being a new personal favourite, but I enjoyed the music. The costumes are great. The set designs, the locations, they're fabulous. We have some pretty horses, of course. It's filmed at least in part at the French Ranch in Hidden Valley Road, Thousand Oaks, and the location really is absolutely stunning. The characters are great performances, visually strong with good camera work, musical element is great, and it does feel like a Western, but obviously it feels also like a musical, and I feel like the musical elements are so strong that even if you're not that bothered about westerns, I think you'll still enjoy the characters, their relationships, the musical performances, of course. Again, if you're a western fan but you don't like musicals, I'd say still give it a go, because I still think there's plenty to enjoy. But if you said you didn't like it because of that reason, then fair enough, I can understand. But as a fan of westerns and of musicals, I thought Lights of Old Santa Fe was an absolute joy.